Sometimes the hardest part of Parkinson's is not the symptom. It's trying to explain the symptom to somebody who can't see it. They see you sitting there, but they don't see the stiffness. They see your face looking flat, but they don't see the emotion still happening inside. They see you cancel plans, and they don't see that medication crash, the fatigue, the anxiety, the brain fog, or the invisible wall that you keep running into. And the hardest part is that most of the time, they're not trying to hurt you. They just don't understand what Parkinson's is doing behind the scenes. So today, we're going to talk about how to explain Parkinson's to family and friends without turning every conversation into a medical documentary that nobody asked for. And make sure you stay with me till the end because I'm going to give you one sentence. It's simple, it's honest, and it's way better than standing in the kitchen saying, well, my nervous system has apparently joined a jazz band without telling me.
Welcome to Living with Parkinson's. The good, the bad, and the reality. Real talk, real life, real community with Bryce Perry. Let's begin.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the broadcast. If you're new here, my name is Bryce, and I was diagnosed with Parkinson's about 15 years ago at the age of 40. And today we're talking about something a lot of people with Parkinson's carry quietly. The feeling of being misunderstood. Not always by strangers, sometimes by the people that are closest to us, our family, our friends, our coworkers, even our care partners. And that can be painful because you can be surrounded by people and still feel like nobody really sees what you're dealing with. And that is what I call the invisible wall. It's the gap between what Parkinson's feels like inside and what others can see on the outside. And with Parkinson's, that gap can be huge. So let's get right into the first thing that family and friends need to understand. All right, number one is Parkinson's is not just what you can see. That may be the biggest misunderstanding. A lot of people think Parkinson's means tremor. And yes, tremor can be a part of Parkinson's for sure. And for some people, tremor is very visible. For others, it isn't. But Parkinson's is so much more than shaking. It can affect movement, mood, sleep, digestion, thinking, energy, facial expressions, voice, anxiety, medical timing, and your ability to walk through a grocery store without your body suddenly deciding it would rather become an uncooperative lawn chair. So when someone says, but hey, you look fine, I know they usually mean it kindly. They think they're being, encouraging. But sometimes when you have Parkinson's, you can look fine, can feel like, I don't see what you're going through. And that can sting. Because you might look fine because your medication is working right now. You might look fine because you rested all morning just to make it through this one thing. You might look fine because your symptoms are invisible. Or you might look fine because Parkinson's has a twisted little sense of humor and likes to behave in public like a toddler who screamed all morning and then smiles sweetly at the cashier. So the first message to family and friends is very simple. Please do not judge Parkinson's only by what you can see. What you can see is only the surface. Sometimes the person looks okay on the outside, while the inside is running on emergency backup power and spite. And if you ever heard, but you look fine and wanted to scream into a pillow, then drop the word invisible in the comments, because I know a lot of people here are going to feel that one. And don't forget, stay with me, because at the end, I'm going to give you the one sentence that can help explain this without sounding angry, without sounding defensive, or like you're teaching a neurology class at a Thanksgiving dinner. Okay? All right, number two. The second thing family and friends need to understand is facial masking. And this one is very personal for me because over the last while, I've noticed facial masking more and more, especially in photos. I'll look at a picture and I'll think, why do I look like I just heard somebody explaining cryptocurrency at a wedding? My face does not always show what I'm feeling. I might be happy, I might be interested, I may be fully engaged, but my face might look flat, serious, tired, or like my operating system is buffering. And that can be really frustrating because people may think you're bored, or they might think you're upset or checked out or not interested. But inside, you're still there. Your emotions are still there. The person is still there. The face just doesn't always cooperate. The best way I can explain it is like a frozen computer screen. The program is still running. The person is thinking, feeling, listening, loving, and laughing on the inside. But the monitor is stuck. the face is not refreshing properly. And with Parkinson's, that can happen. So, to family and friends, if someone with Parkinson's looks blank, please don't assume they don't care. Don't assume that they're mad, and don't assume that they're bored. But ask gently, and believe them when they say, I'm okay, my face just isn't showing it. Because you know what? There is nothing more annoying than feeling something inside and having your face refuse to participate. It's like your emotions showed up to work and your face called in sick. And apparently, my face has used all its vacation days. So if facial masking bothers you too, put masking in the comments. Because someone else may read that and realize that they're not the only one looking at photos, thinking, there I am again. I look weird. All right, the third thing that people need to understand is fatigue and brain fog. Now, I'm putting these together because they often travel as a very annoying little duo, like two raccoons in a trench coat pretending to be a symptom. Parkinson's fatigue is not a normal tired. It is not, I stayed up too late tired. It's not, I need a coffee tired. It can feel like your whole system just powers down. And brain fog is not laziness, it's not stupidity, and it's not listening. Brain fog is when the word is there, you just can't grab it. It's when someone asks you a simple question and your mind suddenly opens 19 tabs, freezes, and starts playing music from somewhere that you cannot find. It's when you're halfway through a sentence and the word just leaves, and not politely. It packs a bag, it moves to another province, and it refuses to forward its address. This is why family and friends need to understand that Parkinson's uses energy differently. Walking, talking, thinking, balancing, getting dressed, following a conversation, processing noise, and trying not to trip over absolutely nothing can all take more energy than people even understand. The battery analogy works so well here. Most people start the day with a full phone battery. With Parkinson's, sometimes your battery starts at 60%. A shower takes 15. Getting dressed takes 10. A walk takes 20. A stressful conversation takes 25. A grocery store takes everything, including the emotional support snacks. And then someone says, why don't you want to go out tonight? Well, because my battery is at a 3% and I can't find the charger. That's why. And with brain fog, sometimes we need more time. So if you love someone with Parkinson's, try not to jump in too fast. Don't finish every sentence unless they want help. A better question is, do you want help with the word or do you want just a minute? That one sentence can make a huge difference. Because sometimes I don't want help. And sometimes I just need 2 extra seconds for my brain to stop spinning like a suspiciously old laptop. So if fatigue or brain fog is hard for people around you to understand, drop battery or fog in the comments. And if someone sent you this video, maybe this is part of what they want you to hear. They're not ignoring you. They're not being difficult. They're not lazy. Their brain and their body are just working harder than you can see. And this is why explaining Parkinson's can get so tiring, because we're not just living the symptoms. We're translating them. We're trying to explain why our face looks different, why our energy disappeared, why our words got stuck, why we've canceled, why we need more time, why we're quiet, and why we've suddenly changed. And stay with me again. Don't forget, because in just a few minutes, I'm going to give you that one sentence that I wish I had years ago. The sentence that says the whole thing without turning dinner into a TED Talk with mashed potatoes. Because sometimes we don't need a perfect explanation. We need one honest sentence that helps people believe us. Okay, number 4. The fourth thing that family and friends need is to understand off times. Now, off times does not always look like the way people expect. Sometimes off means movements gets harder. Sometimes it means stiffness. Sometimes tremor. Sometimes anxiety. Sometimes the voice gets quieter or slurrier. Sometimes the face changes. Sometimes patience gets thinner. Sometimes things just get harder. Sometimes everything feels heavier. And from the outside, people may think you're being moody or distant or negative or dramatic. But inside, your medication may be wearing off and your body's losing the support that it was relying on. And that's not attitude. That's chemistry. And honestly, that's not attitude, that's chemistry. Probably needs to be on a t-shirt. Because with Parkinson's, sometimes your nervous system starts acting suspicious and everyone else thinks you're just having a mood. No. Sometimes I'm not grumpy. Sometimes I'm under-medicated, overtired, stiff and foggy, and trying very hard not to become a human traffic cone. And there is a big difference. Now, understand, Parkinson's does not give us permission to be rude to people. We still have to own our behavior. But family and friends need to understand that symptoms can shift, and sometimes they shift quickly. You may be okay one minute and struggling the next. You may be social and then suddenly quiet. You may be moving well and then slow. You may be patient and then overwhelmed. And the best thing that someone can do is not to accuse. It's to ask, are you wearing off? Do you need a minute? Do you need your medication? Do you want help or do you want space? Those questions are much better than what's wrong with you. Because first of all, how much time do you have? Second, that question never lands well. You don't have to understand it perfectly. You just have to care enough to keep learning, keep growing. Now, before we get into what helps and what does not help, quick pause. If this video is helping you, please hit that like button. Not for me, but for the person sitting at home right now feeling misunderstood by the people they love the most. That person needs this conversation. They need language. They need support. They need to know they're not alone. So hit the like for them, just like probably someone did for you, so you could find this. And if you're new here, subscribe, please. This channel is about real life, real Parkinson's. Not polished, not perfect. I'm not pretending everything is fine while our nervous system is in the back room chewing on wires. It's real talk, it's real life, and it's a real community. So, what actually helps? Well, give me time to answer. Believe me when I say I'm off. Ask me about helping. So, what actually helps? Okay, well, how about this? Give me time to answer. Believe me when I say I'm off. Ask before helping. Do not assume my face tells the whole story. Do not take canceled plans personally. And please don't say, but you look fine, like that solves the case, because it doesn't. All right, what does not help? Finishing every sentence without asking, telling someone just to stay positive, comparing them to another person with Parkinson's, saying my uncle had Parkinson's and he was fine. That one makes the whole room emotionally itchy. Every person with Parkinson's is different. We're snowflakes. We're very annoying snowflakes with medication schedules and questionable balance. So instead, why don't you try asking this? What would help you right now? Do you want help or space? Do you need some more time? Are you off? Do you want me just to sit with you? You know, sometimes the best support is not fixing. Sometimes it's believing. Sometimes it's waiting. Sometimes it's not making the person explain everything while they're already exhausted. Because explaining Parkinson's can become its own symptom. And nobody warned us about that one. Can I get a me too in the comments for that? All right, now it's time for Carmen's Care Partner Corner. And here's what Carmen, my wife, wrote for me to read to you today. One of the hardest parts for care partners is learning that Parkinson's is not always obvious. Sometimes the person looks okay, but you can tell something has changed. Their voice is quieter. Their face is different. The energy is dropping. They're slower to answer. They seem more withdrawn. And at first, it can be easy to misread that. You might think they're upset, frustrated, or not interested. But over time, you learn to look underneath the surface. You learn that a flat expression does not mean they don't care. You learn that quiet does not always mean angry. You learn that canceling plans is not rejection. And you learn that fatigue is not laziness. You learn that sometimes love means slowing down enough to notice what's really happening. My advice to family and friends would be this. Do not assume. Ask gently. Believe what they tell you. And remember that Parkinson's is happening even when you cannot see it. Awesome. Thank you, Carmen. Short and sweet, just like you. And that's exactly it. Do not assume. Don't, ask gently. Believe what they tell you. That might be the whole care partner manual right there. Families do not have to be perfect. Nobody always knows the right thing to say. I've said the wrong thing to myself, and I was the only one in the room. But families can help by staying curious instead of defensive. Because when someone with Parkinson's says, I'm struggling, they're not attacking you. They're inviting you into a part of the disease that you may not be able to see. And to the people who are watching this who do not have support, my solos, I want to say something directly. Feeling misunderstood is hard. Feeling misunderstood alone is even harder. Maybe your family does not get it. Maybe your friends disappeared. Maybe people got tired of hearing about Parkinson's long before Parkinson's got tired of bothering you. And if that's your reality, I'm sorry. You deserve to be believed. You deserve to be heard. You deserve people who do not make you prove your symptoms every time you struggle. That's one of the reasons why I built the club. Because sometimes the family we need includes people who just simply understand. People who hear one sentence and say, me too. The club's free to join. The link's in the description. The door is open. No pressure. Because nobody should have to carry the invisible wall alone. So, here is the one sentence I promised you at the very beginning. This sentence I wish I'd used years ago. And here it is. I don't need you to fully understand Parkinson's. I need you to believe me when I tell you what it's doing to me. And that's it. That is the sentence. I don't need you to fully understand Parkinson's. I need you to believe me when I tell you what it's doing to me. Because that is what so many people are really asking for. Not perfect understanding, not medical expertise, not a full breakdown of dopamine pathways at the dinner table. Just to be believed. Believe me when I say I'm tired. Believe me when I say I'm off. Believe me when I say my face does not match my feelings. Believe me when I say I need more time. Believe me when I say I can do something one day and not the next. Believe me when I say I'm trying. And if you're a family member or friend watching this, please hear this gently. This is not blame. This is an invitation. You don't have to understand everything. You just have to believe the person you love. Now, I want to hear from you. What is the hardest Parkinson's symptom to explain to your family and friends? Masking, fatigue, brain fog, off times, anxiety, pain, something else. Drop it in the comments. Your comment may give someone else the words that they've been looking for. And if this video explains something that you've been trying to say, share it with one person who loves you but may not fully understand. Maybe this can help start the conversation. And if you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? This is what we do here. Come on board. Let's do this. And now you've made it to the end, so here is your Bryce-ism of the episode. With Parkinson's, my face may look like it left the meeting, but I promise the rest of me is still trying to attend. There you go. Hey, until next time, I want you to keep showing up. I want you to keep being real. And I want you to keep doing life today. I love you, and I'll see you on the next episode.